are live. This is episode number 15 of Savages in the Bronx, live from Studio 54 New Jersey and REM Studio in Staten Island, New York, airing exclusively on Twitch and powered by StreamYard. And that notepad just got caught up in the ceiling fan and then flew across my room. So
my only hope was you would have busted your forehead open like that guy in the Seahawks like 6 or 7 years ago, who I was going to Google real quick, but didn't really have the interest to do.
Or a la like ECW Sandman for those wrestling fans out there.
It could have been like ECW Sandman.
The kendo stick. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It's Monday, June the 28th, 2021. I'm your host, Rich Rivera, and I'm being joined by a man who loves his baseball, his apple pies, and his Chevrolets, Tom Wospil.
I have never owned a Chevrolet, for the record.
Have you ever owned an apple pie?
I mean, I've owned one. You know, they don't no longer have them. Usually eat them. Delicious.
Do you not eat apple pie, or do you not like apple pie?
I enjoy it. I love an apple pie. Warm it up in the microwave, put a little whipped cream, a little ice cream on it, a little a la mode.
Hold on a second. All right, wait, real quick, because we're going to talk about Yankees for a while. But what are your top three favorite pies?
This is such a rich, not Rich Rivera. This is such a Joe Rivera episode. Number one is pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is the most elite pie.
Okay.
Two, probably apple. Honestly, especially if you get like an apple with the crumbly top.
Okay.
If you've ever been to delicious orchards,
yeah, I've been to the very dyslexic. I can't even say that.
Delicious orchards. Yes. Coffee cake top apple pie is something that's just special. And honestly, in my world, I only need those two pies. Everything else is nice. If we're gonna maybe I'd take like a banana cream or like a coconut cream pie. I'll go with that for three.
Yeah, I'd say bananas in the three. I definitely like an apple caramel pie. Perkins does a really good job with the apple caramel pies.
Costco has a fantastic apple pie.
So damn good. And blueberry. Love blueberry pie. Big fan of blueberry pie. But I'm a big pie guy. I like pies. Hopefully I have a nice pie this coming Sunday with the 4th of July holiday. Tom,
they're gonna go more wrestling here and go a little rock. Like, do you like pie, Lillian Garcia?
I heard you like strudel. Yes, we can definitely. That'll be an extra innings. Let's talk about.
Can't wait for Dwayne to join us this later on today.
Yeah, of course. Need Dwayne to join us. All right. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It's been a week. It's been a while. The Yankees have played like absolute shit, but today they are showing some signs of life against the Angels. Currently, it's a 2-2 score. I believe we had them in the third inning, right? Top third?
Yeah, we are top 3, 2 out. Anthony Rendon up. They just got Ohtani out after he hit an absolute moondoggy the first time. So, but like you're saying, a lot of fight. I love kind of what we're seeing out of them today. Going down 2-0 in the first after just getting demolished by the Red Sox, which we'll talk plenty about. To not just roll over and die, which is what they've basically been doing for the past 3 games at least. Is good to see. They fought back, had a little bit of a rally. It wasn't just a homer. Then they did get a homer from Gio, tie it up. Bundy puked everywhere. Angels in some trouble now. They're gonna have to go to the pen. I wonder if Ohtani gets on the mound. I think he's scheduled to start one of these games, so probably not.
Legit puke.
Disgusting.
We were there was like 3 minutes before the show started. We both had the Yankee game on because now I have it on the Yes app because I figured maybe I should just watch the games while I do the show. That would be probably a smart thing to do. Dylan Bundy just puked everywhere.
What do we think he ate? What do we think he ate? So someone's gonna ask him after because he's probably fine. He's just I'm gonna say that looked like some sort of like a buffalo chicken taco, buffalo chicken quesadilla situation.
I'm going with a lox bagel that just didn't sit well.
With papers. A risky move. Going with a raw preparation of salmon. That's a power move before getting on the mound.
I mean, it makes sense for somebody who's playing with a trout to be throwing up salmon. Not really playing with a trout anymore because trout's hurt. But yeah, Dylan Bundy throws up and is taken out of the game. So it's a 2-2 as Anthony Rendon walks. And we'll have live coverage of this Yankee game as we move along here in Savages of the Bronx. But we always start our show off with the Bronx is burning, which of course it certainly is, because there have been a couple more injuries added to this Yankees team, which actually hasn't really been much of a problem for the Yankees this season. Surprisingly, they've had most of their squad for the most part, which is a shame that they're a fourth place team right now. But Zach Britton and Wandy Peralta landing on the 10-day IL, respectively. Britton with a left hamstring strain and Peralta with some undisclosed back injury of sorts. Definitely not from carrying the team on his back, because he sucks. But Albert Abreu's up. Brooks Kriske is up as well. Britton and Wandy Peralta down for the count.
Yeah, Britton looks like he tweaked it, and then he kind of kept trying to push it, and then he really pulled it. We hope it after he fought so much to get back this year, to lose him again. Unfortunate, especially the kind of pitcher he can be when healthy. Like I said, Wandy Peralta, he's been like up and down this year. He's had some good moments. He's had some not so great moments. But hey, we got Abreu back up now. We got Kriske back up. See what they're gonna bring to the mix in the pen for the next probably at least the next month. I don't think the way Britton walked off that mound, I don't think we're gonna see him for probably a little while. And he only just had kind of worked up the his arm again, so I'm sure he still probably had some work to do on it. So he's gonna probably need another week or so at least in the minors rehabbing once ever his leg gets better.
Yep. As LeMay almost made a nice Derek Jeter-like play, but the runner is safe at first and second for the Angels, 2 out. In the third, Abreu, I guess it's just the nature of baseball, but Abreu seems to have had not the worst 2021, 2.53 ERA in 5 games. I guess with the amount of options he still has left, which I think at the beginning of the season we thought he had no options. So I don't know what.
Yeah, then he somehow had one, and then I guess he's got another one now because he's up, and they usually don't want to bring someone up with no options left unless this is the last one, and they either are gonna include him. The only thing we've been talking about trade deadline stuff. If they're gonna sell him, they want to put him out there and see if someone likes what they're seeing over the next month. They could trade him for something. I can't imagine he's gonna have a ton of value, but that could be a move they're going for.
Yeah, and he'd been one of the top Yankee prospects for years. I just, as a starting pitcher, I just don't think it's going to pan out for him in that role. But maybe somebody could use a young reliever out there. Yeah, the Abreu is only 25 years old. So, we'll see as the trade deadline looms closer. And staying on injuries, Corey Kluber reportedly will be out until at least August. I think early projections had him at July. Now they're saying August for him, which I think is understandable. It is a 35-year-old pitcher coming off a shoulder strain of his throwing arm. So I'm not really surprised here with this one, Tom. Kluber won't be expected with the Yankees until at least August now.
Yeah. For a while there, it seemed like the best we could have hoped for him is to pitch before the trade deadline and see if they can flip him for something, because he's only on that 1-year deal. At this point now, I mean, hey, I know we're really down on the team. The idea of them making the playoffs is not a ridiculous idea. If they play better, if they play like they are, that they're not going to.
No.
But if they play better, that is still a possibility out there. And, he could be a factor if they make it. But again, they really need to change their play. And
it's a damn shame. He was on his way to an American League Comeback Player of the Year season, possibly an All-Star Game appearance.
He was not going to win that.
No,
Trey Mancini. Well, Trey Mancini was always going to win Comeback Player, and deservingly so. He should have won.
Of course, absolutely.
Player, so. But
and still, a nice note that I mentioned earlier on leading off, Mancini added to the home run derby field at Coors Field. So that'll be nice to see. And I'm speaking as an unbiased Yankee fan who just loves baseball and loves things that are great for the game. And Trey Mancini's story is great for the game. So that is it for Bronx is burning. Not for our show, Tom. We still have a lot to do here. But for our fans out there, our lovely fans on Twitch and on Twitter, you know how to follow us and subscribe to us. You can subscribe to our YouTube page, of course, Savage in the Bronx on YouTube. Where our episodes will be uploaded as available. So make sure to like and subscribe. And on top of that, we're also now on Instagram along with our Twitter page. You'll follow us at Savages Bronx. You can follow Tom at
Wospil 54.
And you can follow me at Rich J. Rivera. And let's see what's going on in the Twitch chat, because we have our Savages in there, our Chooches in there. Corey Faz, hello, Savages in the Bronx. Chooches in the chat here. He says key lime pie #1, which I'm sure that is what Dylan Bundy had before tonight's game.
Did not look green coming out. It looked orange.
And Esserado says, yo. And I say, yo. All right. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Love that out of you.
But let's talk about Sincerely Allie Studio, our great sponsor of the show, which, of course, Sincerely Allie Studio, established in 2020, has created some very cool scented candles and wine glasses and coffee mugs. She actually just released a new candle, Tom, that I was actually one of the first people to try this candle out. It was really nice. It's called the Into the Woods, where honestly some of these Yankee players should probably be casted to indefinitely with the way they've been playing. We'll talk about that more on our 9 Up, 9 Down. So you can purchase that candle and much more on her Etsy page, which is at the bottom of our ticker here. I didn't have the ticker up before, but here it is now. So you can check out her Etsy page on the ticker below there, etsy.com/shop/Sincerely Allie Studio. And also make sure to give her a follow on the gram at sincerely.allie. That's with 2 E's on Instagram for all things for your self-care needs. Sincerely Allie, our great sponsor of Savages in the Bronx. And Sincerely Allie, of course, will be sponsoring our next segment, which is called 9 Up, 9 Down. Another month has gone by, Tom. So once again, we get into our confidence rankings of this team. And it seems like every time we do these confidence rankings, the Yankees are coming off playing some bad ball against in a recent series. So it's hard to give them credit where credit is due. And there's not a lot of credit to give to this current Yankees team. So let's get it started. Tom, at the number 9 position of your confidence rankings, 9 Up, 9 Down, who do you got?
So a peek behind the curtain, when Rich and I were talking about this yesterday, I was ready to just put all of them at 9, and no one is above 9, and the logo we were going to use for this is going to be a toilet. But, that seemed a little too lazy. So number 9, deservingly so, is the shortstop, is Gleyber Torres right now. He is in the middle of something like a 050 batting average for the last 3 weeks, something along those. It's bad. It's real bad. His defense had improved for a little while, and then it looks like he turned his ugly head again this weekend in Boston. So got Gleyber down. Unfortunately, I love Gleyber, but I have no confidence in him on either side of the ball right now.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres just makes me drink a lot of alcohol, like this rosé that I'm not sponsoring. They call me Richie Rosé now. But no, I got that rosé actually at this wedding that I had over this weekend. So shout out to my boy, and Tom, you know this guy, Matt Tucker. He was also M45 in our chat. He had his marriage on Saturday. So congratulations. Shout out to Matt. A couple of boys in the chat were there too. So that was one of the party favors that I'm drinking right now on Savage in the Bronx. But Gleyber Torres certainly making a lot of Yankee fans drink with his horrible batting average of 242, which he had risen it up to as high as I believe it was 273 at one point, because he did have a hot stretch, but he has fallen back down to this horrific, mediocre, piss poor shortstop that can barely play the field. So he is in my number 9 spot as well.
The fact that his average is 242 after all this is honestly astounding, because he has been so bad for about a month now. So
in my number 8 spot, I have the designated hitter, which of course is the one and only Giancarlo Stanton. Since Stanton has come back off the IL, he has not been the producer the Yankees were hoping that he was in early May, where he was crushing the ball. He has come up in some key spots where he has been not been so key for this team. And he's a guy that I want to have all the confidence in the world to be up at the batter's box, because it is his one role on the team. But he is not giving me that confidence right now. He is striking out in big situations. I got Stan. Maybe I'm being too mean, but I got Stan at number 8.
Yeah, I have him a little bit higher. We'll get to him on my rankings in a few here. I think he's still a threat at the plate, and he's being pitched around a lot. Was it Saturday night, the closer game in Boston. They just pitched around him, like, you know what, we're not going to give him anything to hit. They basically walked the only guys on the team that we do have confidence in, and so I have him a little higher, not too much higher on my list.
All right. Well, who you have at your number 8 position then?
My number 8 position, we'll get to, I guess when we get to, my number 8 position, I have the starting rotation, which for a while, I think they were our number 1 at one point throughout the season. They were looking very good. The spider tackless Garrett Cole is something that I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad start. He did have a pretty good start against Kansas City. That they ended up losing that game. They win that game. He didn't win it. He was good. He pitched like 7 innings, 2 runs, something like that. But for those of you checking the spin rates, if you watch the Yankee broadcast and David Cohn's on, they're going to talk about the spin rate a lot. The spin rate is down. He's still the ace of the rotation, but I don't have as much confidence in him as I did before. And moving forward, hopefully he can figure out something to get a grip, because did not look good yesterday. And then behind him, Herman's been bad. Montgomery's been a little bit better. Taillon's actually even been a little bit better of late. We got King on the mound tonight. He's not an ideal 5th starter at this point. So I don't have a ton of confidence in that starting rotation anymore.
Starting rotation, I have actually in the next spot, in the number 7 spot.
Okay, I moved DH down. Stanton just grounded into a double play. DH is now 8th on my rankings,
and he stays at 8th because Gleyber Torres is that bad. Number 7, I'm with you, keeping the starting rotation low on the list, which is crazy because last month I had him at number 1. So you're now at the number 7 spot. I think. Michael King being in that 5th spot, not ideal, but I guess you're trying to make it work as possible. Garrett Cole has not been the same Garrett Cole about a month ago. Domingo Germán has not been the same Domingo Germán a month ago. Jameson Taillon has been a better Jameson Taillon, if we're just taking into account the last couple starts, but it's not a rotation I feel great about at this rate, and it's definitely a piece that the Yankees may have to address if they do become buyers at the deadline. But it's the Yankees. They're going to be the buyers. The Yankees don't sell. All right. Number 7. Who do you got, Tom?
Number 7, I have, and this really pains me to say, and I have a lot to say about this, is I have the outfield. And the real shame of this is that Aaron Judge might be the player I have the most confidence in. He's been great. If the Yankees were good, he would be an MVP contender this year for sure. He's been good defensively. The rest of the outfield is just horrible. It is. Yep. I mean, and Duhar had a little bit of that streak in there where he was hitting. That's kind of coming to an end. Brett Gardner, even though I love him, everyone knows I'm a guard dog truther. He's how old now? 37, 38. He was never meant. 47.
51.
He was never meant to play this much. I love him as a once a week guy, and maybe coming off the bench and being a defensive replacement. Starting as many games as he has and he's going to continue to start is not ideal. And then Clint Frazier has also just been horrible. His defense has been horrible. And one thing I've noticed with Frazier that's really starting to annoy me is we've seen, this is going to go a bit of a tangent, but we've seen like the evolution of the bat flip, right? And, everyone has their thoughts on the bat flip. I like it in some, circumstances when you're bat flipping, if you're down, 5 runs, I'm like, it's kind of like, what are you doing? It's like celebrating a touchdown when you're losing by 28. But now some guys, they'll kind of bat flip a walk, which I could get if a pitcher walks, or if a pitcher pitches around you, and it's, like when Stanton gets 4 pitch walked and he just throws the bat. It's like I'm all in for that, because it's like you're showing the pitcher like you're afraid of me and I'm disgusted. I want it to hit. I'm up here to hit. I'm up here to walk. Clint Frazier bat flips his walks, but he has no interest in swinging the bat. He doesn't want to swing. So he like stares in at the pitcher like, why don't you throw me a strike? And they really should have thrown him a strike, because he would have missed it or just would have grounded out. I want to love Clint Frazier. I really do. It's just some of that kind of stuff. I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to show up the pitcher? You don't want to swing. You're terrible.
Right. It's just dope shit. And And also a little background too. Why is this not 11 up, 11 down? Why didn't we do like the individual outfield position? Because the outfield, I feel, should be grouped together, especially since these are positions that overlap. You know, certain guys are going to play right field, certain guys are going to play center. Look at Judge. Judge has played center field a bit this year. So you're going to have those positions that overlap. So I like including the outfield as one. Great point on Judge, because if we just did this individually, I think Judge, the right field position would be towards the top. It probably would be number one on this 9 up, 9 down, but it's not the case. It's not the rules. My rules, bitches. Savage in the Bronx. That's how we do it. So outfield for Tom is up at number 7. For me, it's at number 5. I won't get into it crazily because Tom kind of just took the words out of my mouth. Kind of disappointed with the play of the other guys that are not named Aaron Judge in that outfield. So in my number 6 position, I got first base. And it's not a knock on Luke Voigt at all. He just came off the injured list. So I really couldn't give him a high ranking yet, even though it's great to see him there. I mean, before, first base was in my number 9 spot because literally he was a black hole in this team since the beginning of the season. I mean, we didn't know who was going to start that position. You had LeMahieu there. You had Mike Ford there, who shouldn't have been there. You had Chris Gittens there. But now you got your stable force back. Voigt's looking great so far since his activation off the IL. He's in my number 6 spot, but he's going to be rising eventually. In your number 6 spot, Tom, you mentioned designated hitter. You want to stress more on Mr. John Carlos Stanton?
Not really. I still think he's a threat at the plate at the very least. I think pitchers are at least pitching around him. He seems to be not just swinging at everything of late. So I have a little bit more confidence in him, but I think I was looking up his stats before. He hasn't hit a home run since like the middle of the month. It's been almost 2 weeks, something like that, if I remember that. Right. So yeah, he's there to hit the long ball, and he hasn't done a lot of that of late.
In my number 5 spot's the outfield. As I mentioned before, we kind of stressed on that. So I'm going to jump to your number 5. Who do you got?
I have the bullpen, which definitely has been the number 1 ranking in our rankings of the past. We talked about, Peralta being out, that's, I don't know how much it really affects it. Britton coming back and then going out. I mean, we didn't have him all year, but you always feel good when you have Zach Britton out there. I think he's been one of the most reliable players, even, pitchers, hitters, whatever, on the team for the past few years. He's been so reliable on the mound. Having him out hurts. But it's really Chapman. Chapman has he goes through these spells, I feel like, where he just loses it. And the sad thing is, if you've watched enough Yankee games or in Chapman games, immediately if he doesn't have it. As soon as he won't throw fastballs, he's just throwing like slider after slider. You just know they're going to lose. He just doesn't have it. And when he doesn't have it, he has nothing. Now, granted, most of the time he has it and he's lights out. But right now he's in a funk. He needs to work his way out of it. I would like to see if we get a game where maybe it's not a high leverage situation and we're up 3, or even if we're up 4, because I don't think he didn't pitch in Boston because we didn't have a save situation. Is get him out there and get him some confidence so we can have some more confidence in Mr. Chapman. Yeah,
and it's a damn shame because up until a couple of weeks ago, Chapman was on pace to like his early Reds days. So, I mean, that kind of season. I mean, a season I was looking at, it was like his 1.51 ERA with the Reds in 2012, and Chapman was having that kind of year. He was having those crazy numbers. He was looking like the guy that the Yankees had grabbed years ago. So, yeah, it's a damn shame that he's kind of ticked off a bit. The bullpen is definitely not in my number 1 or 2 spot. So you can take a guess of what spot it's probably at, but it's still high for me. So we'll get into that later. What are we at? Number 4. Number 4, Tom. We are actually in agreement on this one. We have third base.
We do.
So Mr. Gio Urshela continues to stay towards the top of this list. Urshela, of course, ground ball gets hit to this guy. He's making the play. Even the hard plays, he's making the play somehow. But yeah, this guy he's been a great force for this team. And yeah, maybe the line isn't as spectacular as it's been in the past. 268 batting average, 10 home runs now after he hit a second inning bomb. Unless Baseball Reference is just on their fucking game right now, and he's actually does have 9 home runs, 31 RBIs for him. So yeah, Gio's been good for this team, and I take the credit for the fact that they got him for nothing. They got him for nothing. He was a castaway. The fact that he stayed this high up in our list, Tom, has been incredible.
He's one of those guys that, and granted, not Chapman, Cashman deserves a lot of, he's getting a lot of shit right now, and he deserves it. But when you see that they paid $25,000 and they picked up Gio Urshela, is incredible. He's been an amazing find. He defensively, he's great. He flew over the railing. I don't think he didn't catch the ball in Boston, but he flew over the railing when the railing broke.
Yep.
But you love that out of him. He's trustworthy out there. You couldn't have less of a care when the ball's hit to him. The play is going to be made. And if I'm being honest, at this point of the season where I don't know if the Yankees are going to make the playoffs, especially if they play the way they are, they're not going to. My goal for the season is to get Gio that Gold Glove. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my one. If Gio gets a Gold Glove after all this, I'd be pretty happy for him. He's worked so hard to get to where he is. Would love to see him rewarded that way.
He has a tough competitor there for that Gold Glove in Matt Chapman in Oakland, who's literally a platinum glove.
He does.
It is a tough spot for him. I think if Urshela was flipped to the other side of the league, I'm sure he'd be the Gold Glove winner of the National League at the third base side.
I don't know. There's a platinum guy over there named Nolan Arenado.
Oh, I mean, he's pretty fucking good too.
He's also pretty good. Something with the Gold Glove again. This is a bit of a side tangent, but I get you want to give it to the best guy in the position all the time. But when there are guys who are right there with them, if they have a particularly great year, I think they should be rewarded with a Gold Glove. Chapman has enough of them. If Gio keeps this up,
Michael King just got out of a tough spot there, so it's still a 2-2 game going into the bottom 4
innings in a row for that. So.
Yes, so yeah, I know, and it's great praise for Gio. Fantastic glove there. I think the thing is, I think another thing that needs to be taken into consideration for a Gold Glove, again, side tangent here. Obviously, we're going based on fielding percentage and accuracy, but what's taken into account? How about the tough plays that are made? How many tough plays are made?
How many triple plays has Matt Chapman started this year? 0, I assume, and Gio has started 2. So, and he's finished 1. So he's been part of 3 triple plays.
He's been part of all 3 triple plays. Yeah.
No triple plays. I think that's something that should matter.
That should definitely be taken into consideration. I agree with you, Thomas. Number 3. I have the bullpen. We kind of touched base on it already, so I'm not going to be too long in it. Obviously, I still love, after Chapman, and even with Chapman struggles, you still have Greeny doing his thing. You still got Johnny Lasagna, who's putting up all-star-like numbers, as Tom made reference to last week on the show, wanting
rough outing against Kansas City last week, but still, yeah. I mean, he's not going to be perfect every time.
Luis Sessa, of course. It's been.
Let's talk about Nestor Cortez. Is also
Nestor Cortez, the reemergence of Nestor Cortez Jr.
Big spots for him in that Kansas City series as well.
Yes.
He's been good. The
1.20 ERA, lefty in the pen, kind of now taking over the Wandy Peralta / Zach Britton role on this team. So yeah, good for Nestor Cortez. Good to see him back on the squad. Who honestly in his first go around, I wasn't the worst guy. Wasn't the worst guy. There's a lot worse than Nestor Cortez. So
you love the mustache. You love the kind of antics. He has some of that Johnny Cueto, he's gonna pause, not gonna pause, the extra turns. It's fun stuff. He throws it 88 miles an hour or whatever. He can't, you love to see it. He's a lot of fun. Love Nestor.
All right. Well, we're getting down to the very end here. Our number 2 and our number 1 spot, which Tom and I are both in agreement with. So, Tom, who do we have?
I did have one thing to say about my number 3 position, which was first base.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. First base.
No, I just wanted to say the one thing that I love about Voit being back is the energy that he's bringing. He's bringing some swagger to the team. That, granted, the team has been bad, so you don't want them to have too much swagger out there, but you love that he's bringing some kind of life, a little bit of the home run trots, a little bit of the bat flip. I know this has been a theme this episode. I love the stone cold celebration in the dugout with it's fun. It's fun stuff. Baseball's fun. Luke Voigt's fun. He's out there. He's at bat right now. Got a shirt undone, got the hair coming out, got the chains.
What a beautiful looking man.
Tight shirt. He has a bit of a mullet thing going.
Looks like a Marvel superhero.
He's fun. I love Luke Voit.
Gotta love Luke. Yes, number 3 spot for Tom. But like I said, for me, he grounds out here. He's climbing up in my rankings. So he's at number 6 for me, but I'm telling you, by next month, he's going to be up towards that top 3 once again. So Tom, we were in agreement on the number 2 and number 1 spots for both of us. So who do you have at your number 2 spot? Well, who do we both have at our number 2 spot?
We have the second baseman for the New York Yankees, Mr. DJ LeMahieu, completely has turned it around as of late. When I noticed he was an All-Star finalist, I was thinking like, that's really not deserving. Talk about guys who don't deserve to be in the All-Star game. Based on his first half, he probably still doesn't.
Yep.
But he's been great of late. He really turned it around in the Boston series, hit that big home run that ended up, not mattering. But still, you love to see that out of him. We can trust him at second. He's versatile. He can play, first, second, and third. Glad to see him back.
Yeah, DJ's starting to look like DJ. I kind of just need more of those clutch hits from him, though. That's the only thing that I feel like we're missing out of the
Glaber,
DJ
just a lazy fly ball. Good job.
There's
Glaber.
number 9 on the confidence rankings, flying out to right field because he is in absolute trash as he remains seated on my fantasy team.
Love Glaber, just hate this.
Such a shame. He's my favorite fucking Yankee on this team, man. He's my favorite Yankee on this team.
He's
one of them. Damn shame that he's just not putting it together. So LeMahieu at number 2 for both of us. Well, second base, number 2 for both of us. But number one fucking one in the confidence rankings.
Hashtag I am still Gary.
Gar. It's the catcher. Oh my God. Gary Sanchez, the fucking man. He's been great. Back. I think we have 12 home runs since end of May, almost in clutch spots. You gotta love what Gary's doing. I am Gary. Tom is Gary. Twitch is Gary.
I am still Gary.
Yes.
Oh, just you love it out of him. We're both Gary fans. A lot of Yankee fans aren't Gary fans. I love to see that he's just kind of shoving it to those people who say he's lazy and that he doesn't hustle and all that crap. You know what? This is the Gary Sanchez we fell in love with. This is the Gary Sanchez that we've been waiting to see for a while, and I'm very happy to see El Gary again.
Gary motherfucking Sanchez, El Kraken, El Gar, not a piece of shit behind the plate, trying his damn hardest to work every day on his position. He's got the high socks going. This man deserves to catch a cold game eventually when they need him most. Gary Sanchez hitting himself back into the number 3 spot in the lineup. Oh, my God.
Absolute atrocity that he is not a finalist for the catching position for the American League All-Star team. The fact that Martin Maldonado, who's hitting $180 and stinks, is there. Granted, Sal Perez is the starter. I'm not trying to say absolutely. Gary should start over him, but Gary should be there. He deserves it, and the All-Star voting is crap, and it's a joke.
Yes, it is a joke. Definitely a conversation for another time. But the confidence rankings are in. It has significantly changed based on what we've done in the past. We've had starting pitching up there. We've had catcher very low. We've had second base here and there. But those are the confidence rankings for Tom and I. Tom, once again, shortstop at 9, rotation at 8, outfield 7, DH at 6, bullpen at 5, third base 4, first base 3, second base at 2, catcher at 1. And I have shortstop 9, DH 8, starting rotation 7, first base 6, outfield 5, third base 4, bullpen 3, second base 2, catcher 1. And those are your confidence rankings. The 9 up, 9 down for the month of June heading into the 4th of July weekend. Another 9 up, 9 down, Tom. And, of course, always brought to you by Sincerely Allie Studio. Hey, make sure to check out our other show, or my show, rather, not Tom's other show. Tom doesn't have another show. This is his only show. But listen to my other show, Leading Off. If you like to hear the vocals of Espo, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch every Monday, except for next Monday, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. And you can follow us at LOff Podcast on Twitter. But we're going to end our show, Tom. It's been a while since I felt like we've done this one. Play to be named later. And of course, Tom and I are going to try to stump each other, try to guess a former Yankee based on a couple of clues. So, Tom, I'm actually going to start this one off for you. Okay?
Sure.
All righty. I'm going to lead us off, if you will. All righty. Your player was with the Yankees from 2011 to 2012. So, of course, one of those early 2010 season. And he is a starting pitcher.
2011, 2012 starting pitcher. Ooh, is it CC? He was just on the TV.
It's not CC.
It's not. It's not
a longer
CC.
tenure.
It's not. I just saw him. I got excited. I love CC.
Love CC. I would love to see CC affiliated with this team, but honestly, R2C2, him and Rooks, phenomenal.
After some of his rants he's had on R2C2, I don't know if you could probably employ him because he has had some massive F-bomb rants, deservingly so.
Yes.
But just love it. Just love that out of him. All right. Early 2000s starter. I'm like, I'm going
to jump to the next quote. It's not enough. He wore number 36.
The guy I always think of number 36 does not that time frame. Well, obviously you think of David Cohn, but I think it's someone else too.
I'll add a beat to that too. 15-year career. The Yankees wasn't one of the Yankees was one of his longest tenures.
Is it from Milwaukee? Did he play for Milwaukee?
This guy did not play for Milwaukee.
No, okay, not who I was thinking of, who I can't even think of who the person's name is right now anyway.
Tom, don't look in the chat because we do have a correct guess.
Oh, I just looked in the chat, so.
Oh, no.
I forgot to hide the chat.
Son of a bitch. Well.
I wasn't getting it. I'll be honest, I wasn't getting it. I feel fried right now. It's a horrible week for me work-wise, so Freddie Garcia was the answer. Good job, chat.
Good job, Corey Fast. Freddie Garcia.
I just hit the chat, but then I don't know why I hit it because we've already gotten my answer.
Great job, Corey. Freddie Garcia is the correct answer. Pitched for the Yankees in 2011 and 2012. Wasn't good. 4.29 ERA. I guess maybe not the worst thing in the world for a guy who was like a 4 or 5 starter in the end of his career. Mainly a Seattle Mariner, all-star campaigns and back-to-back seasons in 2001 and 2002. Also pitched for the World Series champion Chicago White Sox in 2005. Freddie Garcia.
For him.
Freddie Garcia, former Yankee great, and a player to be named later. Tom, who do you got?
Okay, I went back a little further than that. I got a guy from the 90s Yankees. I got a guy who won 4 titles with the Yankees in the 90s. We'll start with that. Infielder.
Oh, infielder. 4 titles with the Yankees. Mariano Duncan.
Not Mariano Duncan. This man had 3 different stints with the Yankees, but still won those 4 titles. He had 7 total years with the Bombers.
7 total years with how many stints with the Yankees?
3 different stints.
Wow. 3 different stints with the Yankees, 4 titles. Oh God. Jose Vizcaino.
Not Jose Vizcaino. This man, he in his 3 stints wore 3 different numbers. He wore number 19, he wore number 14, and he wore number 27.
19, 14, and 27.
I think him as number 19. I think 19 is where he won his first stint, where he was on the team from 96 to 99. And then I think he left in 2000, but then came back to still win the title. And then he played to 2001, didn't play in 2002, and then came back for 3 whole games in 2003.
No, it ain't Chuck Knobloch.
No, he's number 11.
Not Chuck Knobloch. He's number 11, right? Damn.
The utility guy played second, short, third. Luis Soho is who we were going for. Always a fan favorite,
Luis Soho. I think actually was a previous guest on Player to be Named Later a couple months back. But yes, Luis Soho, famous for hitting
I hope I chose him. I hope he was my guy and I forgot. I hope I chose him before and I forgot. Says a lot about you. It took you this long to get him, though.
Yeah, it's all good. Luis Soho, 4-time World Series champion. Like I said, I know him for hitting the home run at All-Timers Day, because when do you ever see a home run that leaves the park at All-Timers Day? One of those classics. Oh, the Yankees should have an old timers day coming up. No,
Oh,
I haven't seen.
Yeah, he just went down the rankings. He's had a ball go through his legs.
Great, just great. I'm curious. I don't know. Is there an Alzheimer's Day this season, or because of COVID, they just?
I don't know. I mean, like, not to try to make a joke of it, but I would think that's not something you'd want to do with older people.
No, it looks like
they're doing it.
I don't know.
DJ just got Bucknered.
Yankees Alzheimer's Day weekend with an edition of Legends game, PNC Field, Sunday, June 21st.
That's PNC Field. That's grand.
That was in 2015. All right, fuck that.
Also,
all right, so I don't know if there's going to be an All-Star game.
I feel like they might not be doing it this year. I think it's probably
maybe not.
Best to not do that.
Probably not the best of moves, but I don't think they. Yeah, I think they'd already have it by now. But anyway, Luis Sojo and who was the fucking guy? Freddie Garcia. Players to be named later. And if you guys don't know, now you know. Savage in the Bronx will not be live next week, July 5th, nor will Leading Off be for you hardcore Leading Off fans. We appreciate your support, but next week we will be taking a off week for the holiday. So we will be back in 2 weeks' time on July the 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. As always, but let's close out the show the right way, Tom. We have 4th of July coming up this weekend. Hot dogs, burgers, pies, all that good stuff. What do you got going on 4th of July weekend?
Got some barbecues out there. Might do some golf. I don't know. But definitely got some barbecues, some pool, some beers, some burgers. You know, the bees. The bees. We love the bees. And we love freedom. And we love the 4th of July. And we love America. So, hey, enjoy it. Have fun. Be safe. But until then, we will see you in 2 weeks' time on Savage in the Bronx, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You know where to be on Twitch. Take care.